G'day, Rick here at the drum shop at Kosmic Sound in Western Australia, and it's my absolute pleasure to introduce you today to Roland's brand new EC-10 electronic layered cajon. These days, with much higher demand for acoustic duos and trios and a bit of a phasing out of drum kits, we've seen a burgeoning market in cajons and hand percussion. Until now, if you wanted to have anything more than just a cajon sound, you needed a whole bunch of shakers, tambourines, all sorts of stuff. The El Cajon changes all of that. All of those extra sounds, all those little layers, they're built into this little baby. So if you want to just emphasize your cajon sound, or if you wanted to run your cajon sound straight into a PA so that you can amplify it slightly, this allows you to do that without necessarily using a microphone. But it also gives you a whole bunch of other options as well. The El Cajon, with no electronics operating, sounds and plays just like a normal cajon. But you might want to accentuate that a little bit. So I can turn this on. Now it's in cajon mode, and all it's doing is layering cajon sounds over the acoustics, being picked up through a microphone on the port. Much fuller, much richer. One of the beautiful things about the El Cajon is that it runs on 6 AA batteries. That gives you up to 3 hours of playing time, plenty of time to run a gig out of that. It will also run off a DC adapter, but you don't always have access to that. Like any cajon, there are 2 main sounds. You've got the head, or the body, or the bass note, and you've got the snare, or the edge slap. Roland have used that concept and fitted 2 sensors. So there's a head sensor and there's an edge sensor. This allows you to get a whole range of textures and sounds from the single unit. Let me demonstrate. Let's try some flamenco. What about a bossa nova? How about a bit of dubstep wobble? Of course, every cajon player needs a Tabali now and then. How about some Spanish flavors? The unit has controls for overall volume of the electronic layer, as well as a balance between the 2 sensors. So if you're heavy-handed with your right hand and not so much with your left, or if you particularly want to accentuate one sound over the other, there's a balance knob on the back, very easily accessible, that allows you to do that. As you can see from our setup here, we're using a microphone in the reflex port in the front face of the cajon to pick up the sound of both the acoustic cajon and the electronic layer. A little speaker built in behind the grill allows us to do that. But what we can also do is run a jack out of the back of the unit straight into a PA that will pick up just the electronic layer, which is really good for when we look at some of the percussion sounds and some of the more unconventional special effects sounds, which we'll get to later. So the clever people at Roland have equipped the El Cajon with a range of sounds that vary from subtle to accents to the downright ridiculous. Let me show you. Here's your cajon sound normally. Here's the same cajon sound with a tambourine behind it. It's quite sweet. With the click of a button, I can also add a nice little tambourine roll. So the tambourine sounds are nice and subtle. Something with a bit more accent. There's also a few ethnic sounds in there. Some of the stronger sounds on board the El Cajon include a couple of good bass drum snare sounds like this. Of course, no Roland instrument would be complete without the good old. One of the things that I like most about the El Cajon is the fact that I see this as a bit of a game changer in as far as where you can play the cajon and what style of music it's going to fit. Previously, cajons have been played in roots and blues and acoustic sort of music, but the El Cajon takes it away from that and allows us to play something like EDM. Or if you want to be really silly about it, here at the drum shop at Kosmic Sound in WA, we're very lucky to be the first to get our hands on the El Cajon, and we're really excited about it. Hope you are too. Please, if you want more information, check us out online at www.kosmic.com.au or come in store today. My name's Rick. Thanks for watching.
Whether you love playing live, DJing in your bedroom, or hearing your songs recorded for the first time, Australia's leading musical instrument retailer Kosmic Sound would love to help, because that's what we love too. Check us out online at kosmic.com.au.